Guess the car by the sound.
This one also bone stock.
This one's not exactly stock. What kind of engine do you think?
Pushrod V8.
Yep.
It's a pushrod V8, but I would have a hard time placing exactly what pushrod V8. It makes me think of an LS, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go with that is a Charger.
You were right on the money with the LS.
Oh, okay. So it's a Camaro.
Pretty much.
An LS3 swapped me out.
I should have gone with an LS Miata. Yeah, that's what my Miata sounded like.
Welcome everyone to the Bose Bros podcast. I'm Mason.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Logan.
And today we're going to be starting off with our speed rounds, and only speed rounds. No discussion segment today. So starting things off, we have 20 questions, and I believe it's you quizzing Logan.
Okay. So 20 questions, Logan.
Okay. How many does it have? 5 seats.
It does.
Does it have 2 doors?
It does.
Is it American made?
It is not.
Is it made in Europe?
No.
Is it made in Japan?
Yes.
Is it a luxury brand?
It's not.
Is it a Toyota?
No.
Is it a Honda?
Yes.
Honda, 5 seats. Is it a Honda Prelude?
No.
Did it come out between the years 1980 and 2000?
Define come out. Was it on sale during that period?
Yeah, was it on sale in that period?
Yes.
Was it on sale in the 1990s?
Yes.
5 seats, 2 doors, 1990s, Honda. Is it a Honda S2000?
No. That is a 2-seater.
Is that 2-seater? Yeah, okay, sorry. Not a Prelude, not an S2000. Was it sold in the American market?
Yes.
Is it a Civic?
Yes. It is a Honda Civic. I want you to try and get as specific as you can with these last 6 questions, though.
Was this version of the Civic sold in the 90s?
No.
Was it sold between 2000 and 2010?
Yes.
Is it a Civic Type R?
No.
Is it a Civic SI? Is it Mason's black Civic SI?
Mason had a Civic EX. It is Mason's black Civic EX 2-door 2002, I believe.
Black. And this one has the sunroof and the spoiler, just like
Yes,
mine
it does.
Those are the crooked pinstripes.
And I've managed to find a picture of one with a high enough resolution for the podcast.
Nice.
This was on Cars or Bring a Trailer. You want to know how much this sold for?
How many miles were on it?
I think 80,000.
Needs pinstripes.
It does.
It needs wavy pinstripes.
We used a string and everything.
But like that belt line going right through the door handle, like that looks really good.
It's a good looking car. And if you fold down the rear seat and you move the passenger seat all the way forward, you can fit a 5-foot giraffe unicycle in it.
Oh. I mean, is that in the brochure?
I highly doubt it.
That is actually, to your credit, that is a pretty good looking car. I don't think those are those the original rims?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine didn't look like those, but
Yeah.
It's a pretty good looking car.
for a first car, 16,
Yeah.
it was great.
And I mean, even now I look at it, I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind driving that.
Is there a picture of this one with the trunk open? There might be an Xbox 360 in there.
Maybe. So how much would you guess this thing sub 100,000 miles on Bring a Trailer?
5,000.
Yeah, I'd say
What do you think?
4,600. 4,600 bucks.
6,800.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just what this one sold for.
Like bone stock.
Yeah, bone stock.
Oh, then that actually kind of makes sense because most of them were messed with by 16-year-old retards like Mason.
If I had it another year, I probably would have put scissor doors on it.
You think so?
I was shopping for the parts.
Yeah, there's a reason that when they list stuff on Bring Your Trailer that's bone stock, they don't say bone stock, they say unmolested.
Well, that's gonna hit the terms of service.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, next one.
Who's this for?
You are quizzing Logan.
Okay.
It's silver. Hopefully it
Okay.
doesn't give it away.
All right. So, Logan, this
Is the
one,
car
you're
silver?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
one.
You're gonna get a bonus question on this. You're gonna have 21 because I want you to give me the very specific trim.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it an American vehicle?
Yes.
Is it made by GM?
It is not.
Is it made by Dodge?
No.
Is it made by Ford?
Yes.
Is it a Ford vehicle or is it made by another manufacturer?
It is from Ford proper.
Is it a two-door?
It is two-door.
Is it a sports car?
No.
Is it a truck?
It is.
Is it a Ford F-150?
Yep.
Okay. Is it a Ford F-150 Fleet white basic version? I don't know what that's called.
The Workman or Worker, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ford F-150 two-door base model.
No. Think of what
Is it a Ford
two-door
Lightning?
is for. It is not a Ford Lightning.
Is
If
it
they
the
were a
Harley
make-
Davidson?
It's
Step
not
side?
Harley Davidson. No, but you're sniffing in the right puddle. if I don't know where I got
I
that
don't
from.
think that's a real.
You're sniffing the right
saying.
dog's rear end. Yes,
You good with that one?
that's better.
Okay.
So it's not a Ford Lightning. It's not a Harley Davidson. I don't know. I don't know the other performance Ford trucks. Is it like a Ford F-150 SHO? If they made that,
No, think of tuning houses.
I don't know. I guess like a Hennessy Ford F-150 Super Deluxe something.
Big Mac.
Yeah, extra.
No. All
extra
right.
fries.
All right, I'll call it there. You got the F-150, but it is the Shelby Super Snake 770 horsepower, two-door short bed.
That was my next guess.
Sure. But I saw one of these on the road, and the person had done it in such a way, like it was Shelby and it had the Super Snake badge, but whatever they optioned on it, it looked like a bone stock two-door, just black F-150. And then if you didn't look at the badge and see that it said Super Snake 770 horsepower, supercharged, I was like, no freaking way. Yeah,
That's
Interesting.
yeah, which is how I would get it. I wouldn't get it like this. I would get it absolutely, maybe even in like the white Workman's special.
What bothers me about it the most is that the bumper is lower than like the side skirts
Yeah.
on the rear bumper.
Yeah, for sure.
It
It
looks
should
like
line
a
up.
goatee kind of.
It looks like
Like a double.
here's some
chin.
cigarettes while your mom's inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Do all F-150s have that bump at the top of the windshield that comes down?
Of that generation, yeah.
Oh.
The current generation.
That's interesting.
My minivan does too. The windshield looks like an angry eyebrows.
That's cool.
Interesting. Has Ford made a minivan before?
Yeah. Windstar.
Okay.
All right. Next one.
All right. Is this also me quizzing Logan?
Yeah.
Okay. Logan,
Okay.
20 questions.
Is it American?
No.
Is it European?
No.
Is it Japanese?
Yes.
Is it made by a luxury brand?
No.
Is it made by Toyota?
No.
Is it made by Nissan?
No.
Made by Honda again?
No.
Subaru?
Nope.
Mazda?
Nope.
Daihatsu?
No, you got it. It's the Daihatsu Copen. Just kidding. That's 10 questions.
Is it a brand that has an American presence?
Yes.
Is it an Isuzu?
Yep,
Does it have 2 doors?
it does.
Is it an Isuzu Amigo?
Nope.
Is it a K car?
Nope. That's 15.
Is it a Isuzu Impulse?
Nope.
Is it a truck?
Nope.
Not an Amigo, not an Impulse. Is it an SUV?
Yeah.
Is it an Isuzu Trooper?
Nope.
Last question.
Last question.
It's not an Amigo. If you say Rodeo Sport, that is an Amigo.
I understand.
2-door SUV Isuzu.
You love how you like got that question without asking a question.
I don't know.
Go ahead. You can move on to the next slide. That ugly abomination.
Isuzu Veracross. My neighbor owns one
It's
of these,
a
actually.
Vehicross.
Whatever.
Your neighbor owns the Isuzu Vehicross?
Yeah, it's all blacked out, too. It's like fully murdered out. Smoked
Didn't
out
they
taillights,
sell like
black
20
rims.
of these in the US? They sold so few. These are more rare than a Ferrari F50.
Yeah, I like said something to him about it when he was mowing his lawn. I was like, "Oh, I like your Veracross," and he was like, "It's pronounced Vehicross." No, I'm just kidding. He was like, he's like, "Oh, thanks." But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's so ugly. It's so ugly in like a cool way.
I love how big the tires are and how they're like at the extreme corners of the car. It looks like a little toy.
It does. And like the grill looks like it's not cooling anything. It's so tiny and
It's
it
not
has
a
those
big
little
motor.
obstructions. It's 3.5 liters,
It's cool.
but it has approximately 3 plane guards of cooling.
That's cool. It's plenty.
All right.
Neither of you had 20 questions for me?
I have Guess That Car for you.
Okay.
So first up, this is
Oh.
actually a request of one of our viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I ask who? Or will I give it away?
I don't know who it is.
Oh.
Just one of our comments.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's the guy that we don't know. The one viewer that
The
we
one
don't
viewer?
know.
Hey, that's
That
you.
isn't in our immediate family.
Yeah.
Dang.
He
Hell
thinks
yeah.
you won't be able to guess it.
All right.
So let's take a look.
And he was right. Wow, good job, viewer. Thank you for
Wow.
tuning in.
Gosh, it looks like a Yugo.
Okay, well, you got it. It's Yugo. It's Yugo. Yeah, that's the Yugo Coral.
Yeah.
See also Zatslava Yugo, Sastalva
Are you surprised that I got a
Coral,
Yugo?
Jugo 45,
Jugo 45?
or in the US it was the Yugo GV.
Yeah.
Reach.
It's a Yugoslavian car. If you couldn't guess by the name.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. You want to know if he would guess it? And
There
he
you-
got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Autism confirmed.
All right, got another one for
I'm
you.
pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that was a good guess. All right, here's your next one.
I think I know this one, if you can't get it.
It looks like the headlights on the new Wagoneer.
Interesting guess. I think that's wrong.
It is not correct, but it's the correct direction. Somewhat. Closer than a Yugo.
It's the, yeah.
It's a Ferrari.
No, I think I know what it is.
Or maybe.
All right,
it's-
Logan, what is it?
What do you think?
I think it's the new Honda Accord.
You're very close.
It's a new Honda Civic?
Much bigger.
No, a new Honda Prelude.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Prelude.
Yeah.
Dude,
Which
not
this
is
guy
not
might,
Prelude.
this guy at my work owns one.
Prologue. This is the Prologue. The
Prologue.
Prelude
Oh, that's
is
right.
the new little two-door they have.
That's right.
But yes, this is a EV. Their new big EV SUV.
Yeah.
Those rims look better in person and in
Do
black.
I think they look good.
The guy at my work owns one.
They look a little bit Katamari Damacy.
Okay.
All right, last one. I want the trim.
Ah,
as well.
That is a. Is that the new ZR1?
Yes. Corvette ZR1.
Chevrolet Corvette ZR1.
This has the split rear window,
Mm-hmm.
like the C2.
Like the C2.
Cool little homage.
Yeah, I can't believe how much horsepower that thing makes. It makes more horsepower than a Bugatti Veyron.
1060.
Rear wheel drive.
Rear wheel drive.
That's
It makes exactly enough horsepower as it takes to spin you off into a hedge immediately.
Yeah, well, you know what's interesting is when you hold the traction control button, the screen, it comes up with like a liability waiver. You have to
Does
sign
it
with
really?
your finger. No.
I mean, it seems like it should.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sure if it
are
did,
you
more people would be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
you
hope,
know what? Never mind.
let's hope GM doesn't hear this because they're going to do that.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Someone better be taking notes.
All right, I think these are yours, Jordan. Your guess that car.
All right.
I didn't look at these yet.
So I'll let you go first, and if you can't get it, I think Logan knows it.
I immediately know what it is.
What is it?
Yeah, I know what it is too. Yeah.
The Fiat Multipla.
Yeah, Logan just said it.
Oh,
He just said it's the Fiat Multipla. And
Oh,
you're like, Fiat Multipla?
okay.
Well, he already
Yeah.
said he knew what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks bad.
Of course not. Of course, you would take the car that's on top of
Yeah, it looks
everyone's
good.
ugliest cars of all time list, and so like, oh, it looks pretty good. And the 3 rows in the front seat.
The 3 seats in the front row.
Yeah. 3 rows in the front seat, yeah. 3 seats in the front row. All right. You got this one, Logan?
I know what it is.
Nah, Mason's got that. I'll let him, before I come in and give the right
No,
answer. he can
no, Logan, go ahead.
have
You
a
got
shot
this.
at it. He can have
Mason-
a shot at it.
Mason knows it already. I know he knows it.
Does he?
This one's for you. Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I do recognize it. It's something to me says like Lexus, but I don't know. I mean, like a LC 500, maybe. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing
I'll give it to him.
Lexus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely close enough to get points. It's a Chevy Cruze.
Chevy Cruze. One
Oh, okay.
of the most
Yeah.
despised cars of all time.
Especially this year.
Same
This
engine
is
note,
so
I'm
bad.
pretty sure, between this and the LC 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, the V8 for sure.
Yeah.
This one is for Mason because I know Logan knows this.
Ah, yes. But he has to give the year, too, like the year range.
Give me at least the decade that it's from.
I mean,
When you
I'm
give
going to
me-
say 60s, late 50s.
So between 50 and 60?
Late 50s, early 60s.
All right, so you're saying 55 to 65.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks kind of like a, I don't know, Thunderbird?
What's
Oh.
your final answer?
Thunderbird? Is it?
1955 Ford Thunderbird.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Is that a
Yeah,
55? That's
Yeah,
not a
it's a
55.
That's what it was
Dude,
listed
that's a
as.
61 or 62.
All right, well, it was listed as 55.
Well,
Jordan
you know what?
This crack pipe. He asked ChatGPT what the year was.
But
If he gets
how
it wrong,
cool is that car?
that's very cool.
I don't even know if they made the Thunderbird in 55. The car next to the Thunderbird looks like a 55 era car. This is like a 61 or a 62.
Okay, well, correct us in the comments then, if not.
Oh, you're totally right. 55 looked different.
You're welcome.
Never
Well,
mind.
let's see, 1961. Yeah, he freaking nailed it. 1961 Thunderbird in that color.
Wow.
That's a 61.
Well, I still got
Spend a
it.
lot of time on Facebook Marketplace.
All right. I think these are Logan's for Jordan. These are
You have
Guess That
seen
Car.
these, Mason? Or you have not seen these?
I have seen these.
Okay, so it's for Jordan. All right, first car. Here we go. I thought you would get this one immediately or like not at all. I'll give you, let me know when you want a hint.
Man, it looks like a The color throws me off. Like I would immediately go for something like. Is it a Ineos Grenadier?
Pretty close. I'll give you a hint. The two black bars on the right are like your big clue. It's a decal. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know what it is.
Okay, next slide. It's a original
it's
Dodge
a demon.
Demon. Those
Yeah.
black decals, every single picture I found of an original Demon has those black bars on the back, regardless of color, and two black bars going along the sides of the car.
Yeah, that
I
was a cool
think-
car.
They should have brought back that Demon logo. I love that the little guy with his. I thought that was great. I think that's so much cooler than the new logo.
Yeah, the little character.
And that had a
Yeah,
340 in it.
it's Yeah, it's
That's
cute.
cool.
Yeah,
Alright, next
this was. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the Plymouth one was the Duster, and then the Dart was the Demon. Anyway. All right, next one. Here you go.
That is a Toyota 2000 GT.
Ah,
Dang.
good guess.
Nice.
I thought I'd throw you off because this is one of the few that's left-hand drive.
I wasn't even looking at that. I saw where the wing mirrors were mounted, and I was like, it's probably a Japanese market car. I looked at like the slope of the roof, and then the indent in the middle gave it away. I was like, oh, it's 2000 GT because it has the double bubble head area for the helmet.
What do you think of the looks of that car? You think it looks?
I think it's freaking amazing. I would give anything to own a car like that. Have you seen the interior? Every bit of Japanese precision that they are like stereotypically known for was poured into this. They like every single piece was machined and polished by hand. Every piece of wood was selected to match the grain of a piece next to it. Like it's just phenomenal. The inside's like sitting in a Swiss watch.
Isn't
It's
it that
amazing.
the Toyota Centuries that they make for the dignitaries in Japan? I'm pretty sure there's only 4 guys in Japan that are qualified to paint them.
I don't know how many there are, but I know that like to be on the team building a Century, you have to have been working on Toyota vehicles for like 700 years or something. And yeah.
Very Japanese. Yeah, that is a
Have you-
great looking car.
Have you seen Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
Yeah, great movie.
And his apprentice has been working there as his apprentice for like 35 years, and he's not a master yet.
What's his
That's-
son?
Yeah, and he's just not because he's not good enough to run the place yet. After 35 years of like high precision sushi serving, that's like Jiro would be qualified in his realm to work on a Century, but not his son. A Century would be really cool. I saw one for 15 grand, a V12 Toyota Century.
Yeah, there's quite a few here in DC because there's an import in Baltimore. So,
That's cool.
all right, next one.
Oh, jeez.
I knew this one before I saw the picture.
Yeah, this one is funny. It's a very distinct design cue. But it's one of those things like you've seen this before a million times, but it's kind of hard to place what it's on.
I think I'm looking at the left side of the car, and the right is going toward the bumper.
Okay.
And I think it's something like a
It's
Dodge
2
Intrepid.
Kia Stingers stacked on top of each other. Dodge
Yes.
Intrepid.
I think it's something
Is that
like
your
a
final
Dodge
answer?
Intrepid. But it also could be something much more expensive. I don't know.
What's your final answer?
Dodge Stratus. Gosh dang it.
Dodge Stratus.
You're
I
looking
was
at the right side.
Okay.
Dodge Stratus.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. Yeah, that was pretty close.
That was close.
That is close, yeah.
They're
All right,
both
last
car
one.
cars. Toyota Century.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, and like the pass.
I think that's a
through for your
cool
feet,
emblem too. The Phoenix.
The golden
Yeah.
golden chicken. I know it's supposed to be a phoenix.
Benson has sat in the back of one of those and got to like recline and mess with all
When were
the.
you around Toyota Century?
No, not Benson. Rigdon
When? Oh, at a car show?
at a car show. Brought him to a car show for his birthday.
That's cool.
And it's like the sea of cars and stuff, and I see a Sentry, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Really freaking cool. A Sentry would absolutely be in my 10 of the 30 cars in my top 10 list. That's one of them.
If I recall correctly, the emblem on the front of the car is hand carved. So they start with a plate, and then there are specific men that are qualified to carve this shape. So each one is like a little bit, tiny bit different than the last one because they're all hand carved.
That's crazy.
And the fact that you can just get one for like under 20 grand.
I've seriously thought about getting one, honestly.
All right, next segment. We haven't done this in a little while.
Guess the car by the sound.
Guess the car by the sound. So you're gonna hear the sound of a car. You're gonna tell me what you think it is.
All right.
All right. This is for these first three are for Jordan.
All right.
All right. I'll go ahead and start it.
So it's got that lopiness of a cammed engine.
I will say it's an aftermarket exhaust, but when it takes off, that's what it sounds like.
It sounds like a flat plane V8.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not exactly.
It's a flat plane V10.
It's a flat plane V10. Yep. Yeah. Lamborghini Huracan.
Huracan. Yep.
It's a good sounding car.
Yeah, it is. Sounds amazing.
All right. Here's your next one.
You know, that's what I thought too, but...
Or, no, it's a Carrera GT. It's a V10.
Is it a flat plane or cross plane?
A flat plane.
I don't know, man. I think you chose some with aftermarket exhausts.
That definitely sounds LFA, but I'm going to go with Carrera GT.
It's a
No
Z06.
freaking way that's a Z06.
It's a Z06. It's bone stock.
Wow.
It tells you how freaking high that Z06 engine revs.
Yeah, well, because it's clearly sitting at a standstill. Had it been driving, I would know that it went up to a higher RPM. That's why it sounded lower pitch.
Excuses.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
that's a flat plane V8 then.
all right. This one.
This one also bone stock.
This one's not exactly stock. What kind of engine do you think?
Pushrod V8.
Yep.
It's a pushrod V8, but I would have a hard time placing exactly what pushrod V8. It makes me think of an LS, but if it were at idle, I would know if it had the characteristic Hemi lifter tick, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go with that is a Charger.
You were right on the money with the LS.
Oh, okay. So it's a Camaro.
It is a...
Pretty much.
An LS3 swapped Miata.
I should have gone with an LS Miata. Yeah, that's what my Miata sounds like.
Is not the car you were picturing.
Nope.
You nailed it with the LS, though.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm going to be just as good at this.
Let's see.
All right, Logan. What do you think?
This is probably going to be totally wrong, but here's my best guess. I think that sounds like a Boxer 4-cylinder, and then when the car took off, I was like listening for the wheel chirp. I'm guessing all-wheel drive, so maybe a WRX STI? Maybe? Let's see. Probably wrong. Pretty much.
Get absolutely crucified.
I don't know. Yeah. I said this is gonna be bad.
If you were right on, I was like, "There's no freaking way." When you said a boxer, and I'm like, "I don't think so."
Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Oh well.
Like looking at that compared to more modern Ferraris, I'm like, that is refreshingly subtle.
I was in Jersey last weekend and in the parking lot, like regular parking lot, like no cover, no valet, nothing. Just a Ferrari. What is the new one called? F8.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
All right, next one.
All right, here's your next one, Logan.
Okay. First guess, Lexus LFA.
It is a Lexus LFA. That is the best sounding vehicle ever made.
What's funny is you can hear engine noises be like, is that an LFA? And then when you hear it, you're like, that's an LFA.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the tick. Oh, yes, right there. Tickle me right there in the ear.
Can you imagine swapping the single clutch automatic to a dual clutch in that? It's the only thing that lets it down is a single clutch automatic. But even still, I would love a car like that.
Last one, Logan. Here you go. Listen careful.
I think that they drove past the cameraman.
You are correct.
A number of times.
This is stock, by the way.
Is it driven by Will Smith in a post-apocalyptic wasteland of New York?
No, but you're thinking it's a supercharged V8.
That was my guess.
Why are you thinking that? That supercharger wine?
I thought that sounded like a wine, but what was kind of weird is it didn't seem to like get louder as the RPMs got higher, so I really don't know. Let's see.
Astute.
What is it?
That is the
Ah,
EV charger.
No
Sonic.
freaking way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What? God, it's the worst.
How embarrassing. And I thought it was a Ram TRX. For the same reason.
They leave that little electronic hum in there, and I think they do that because it's reminiscent of the whine from the Hellcats.
It's almost, maybe this is a hot take, having that sound come out of that car is almost worse than like up badging a V6 Charger to like the SRT8.
Hard to disagree.
You like the sound? You think it's a good thing?
I think they had to do something. So great, they made it sound good. Fine.
It's
I think
convincing enough.
This is my disagreement is not on that side of the coin. It's on the up badging thing. Up badging is dumb.
Yeah, right. And this exhaust fake noise is just brilliant.
It's not brilliant. It's just not as dumb as up badging. And I think there's no way they release a new Charger that looks like that and
it's
drives by silent.
Dead quiet.
Yeah, there's
There's
zero
no way.
chance that they had to do something, they made it sound good. Great.
No. What they should have done is what Ford figured out how to do, which is sell a different line of EVs or plug-in hybrids and manage to maintain a naturally aspirated V8 with a manual transmission. That's what they should have done.
You're right. You're completely right.
It's
Being
too late
that
for
they
that.
absolutely failed at doing that, this is where we're at.
We could like develop some EVs that like maybe people would like, but what if instead we made a $90,000 Wrangler with a V8 and a $45,000 subcompact crossover that no one wants?
Yeah. No, couldn't agree with you more.
Considering where we're at, and they didn't do those investments 5 years ago when they should have.
10.
It's convincing enough. It would fool 90%.
90+% of people.
Even those with an astute ear.
So will up badging a V6.
I mean, up badging, when you go from a V6 to a V8, it becomes pretty obvious pretty quick.
Not to 90% of people. To you, yeah.
Even to me, if I didn't know about the Charger and it drove by and it sounded like that,
No, he's saying you can tell the difference between a V6 and a V8.
90% of people can, yeah. I can't. I thought that the Ferrari was Impreza.
get him in the comments.
Everyone kill him.
I'm just imagining my face on all the younglings, and then like the comment section, the lightsaber just comes out.
This next segment is one that I'm very excited about, and I have been working on for probably 2 months now.
Roasted by AI.
I went ahead and asked an AI generative tool
To be your friend.
to evaluate our respective cars of choice. I also gave it just a few lines about each of us and said, do your worst.
Okay.
Ah! Yes.
We're asking ChatGPT to roast Logan based on his selection of car.
So who reads it? Do I read it?
No, it's going to read it for us.
Oh, really?
Logan, my guy? A Subaru brat? Really? You're a Marine, part of the toughest branch, and yet your dream car looks like something built for hauling crayons and bad decisions. The brat is what happens when you can't decide between a truck, a car, and a joke. Those rear-facing seats? Perfect for when you want to subject your passengers to the full shame of your questionable taste in vehicles. You're a network engineer dealing with cutting-edge tech, but when it comes to cars, you're stuck fantasizing about a glorified lawnmower. And for someone who loves Japanese culture, you passed up on Skylines and Supras to roll with something that screams, I peaked in 1984. You're out here tatted up like a badass, but driving a car that looks like it belongs in a Fisher-Price catalog.
There you go, Logan.
Gosh!
That's what
Holy cow!
That's what ChatGPT thinks of you.
Can we end it now before it gets to me?
Oh no, yours is worse.
I don't know. I feel like mine didn't offend me that much. Because there was like a fair amount of compliments in there.
Yeah, so this is what I fed it, like almost verbatim.
You know, my husband and father, I'm a network engineer. I love Japanese culture. I have a lot of tattoos. That's all you gave it?
That's all I gave it.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God you didn't put anything about me being bisexual.
I mean, the brat is kind of implied.
You can tell.
What if Jordan's was just like mean out of nowhere? Like it's like, Mazda Miata? You fucking retard. It's just...
I mean, that's basically more or less what it says.
Oh, great. Well, let's hear it. Hit me.
Oh, Jordan, 30 years old and your dream car is a Mazda Miata? Really? Most people are dreaming of luxury or muscle cars at your age, but you're out here drooling over what's essentially a glorified go-kart. I bet you think cruising around in it makes you the coolest dad on the block. And karaoke night? Never miss it, huh? I'm sure your off-key ballads are the highlight for absolutely no one, and injecting your political opinions into every conversation? That must be a riot. Nothing says fun like turning every social interaction into a soapbox for your unsolicited hot takes. At least you work on cars, though. Spending your weekends tweaking that Miata like it's the pinnacle of automotive engineering, when really, it's just your midlife crisis in red.
You know what's the funniest thing about that? I didn't even tell it was red. It just knew it was red.
I feel like that was way more mean.
That one was way more mean.
Mason actually wrote that himself. Mason was mad at you, and he made this segment just to write this stuff.
All right. And then we're going to get to his and be like, Mason, you're beautiful.
Mason's just like, really, Mason? Hemi Kuda, your 8-inch wasn't enough? You being so amazing in bed wasn't good enough? And also, you being over 6 feet tall definitely makes it hard to fit in that car?
Nailed it.
I love the implication that Mason just lied to ChatGPT that he's over 6 feet tall.
All right, Mason, buckle up. Owning a Plymouth Barracuda in 2024 is like living in a museum exhibit of poor decisions. It's a relic of a bygone era where cars were more about show than go. It's almost as if you're trying to live out some nostalgic fantasy while the world has moved on to smarter, more efficient choices. Your taste in cars, much like your music choice, screams, I peaked in high school and haven't evolved since. I stopped growing emotionally in the early 2000s. You build computers and make YouTube videos? Great. Another techie who thinks they're the next big thing on the internet. The only thing worse than a Creed fan is a Creed fan who thinks they have something groundbreaking to say about tech. Maybe the only thing you're truly successful at is keeping those outdated tastes and ideas alive while the rest of us move on.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that wasn't nearly as mean.
Really
Yeah, what
honed
the
down
hell?
on
Jordan's
YouTube
was
channel.
so mean. Jordan's was so mean to him. Mine and Mason's were like, some of the jokes didn't quite land, but like Jordan's is like, you should probably take away his shoelaces and his belt.
Jeez, at first I was like, yeah, it is a go-kart. They're cute. And I am the coolest guy in the school pickup line. Oh.
It was actually written by Kira. Kira wrote the prompts, and she just kept prompting it. She's like, meaner, meaner, meaner.
That was really funny.
Glad you liked it. Blind ranking. This one is for Jordan. Go ahead, Joe. Category is timeless design. So rank these cars 1 to 5
Without knowing what comes next.
without knowing what comes next.
Ooh. That is a 240Z.
240Z. 1970.
It's a good looking car.
It is.
So which of these is the most timeless?
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I'm going to say 2.
2. Okay.
Is the question most timeless, or of these timeless cars, which would he want to own the most?
Which one does he think is the most timeless?
Well, this next one is like probably the one car in the entire history of the automotive world. What I would most like to own is the Boattail 63 C2. So amazing. I want to put it at 1. I know that it's not timeless because nobody does boat tails. So it literally can't be. So I guess...
I think timeless would mean more like it looks beautiful in any era. I think if you ask somebody in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, they would all say it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's fair. So 2, 1.
Mm-hmm. This one is what's kept this design alive is not this car. It
Kit
is
cars.
this era of car. Like this era of automotive racing at the Le Mans and whatever else, like the work that Carroll Shelby did, that heritage has kept this car alive. Not the design specifically. It could have looked very different and probably still have been a classic because of the context. So just on design alone, even though I think it's cool, I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
Miura. Oh, this has got to be a 1, but I already took 1. Man, it's got to be 3 then. The Miura's, it's...
I don't know. This is the best angle of this car because it has the mustache on the hood.
I love the silhouette. I'm so much more about proportions than I am about the graphical design. The cuts and vents and whatnot, it's all about the proportions for me. And like this subtle swoops over the wheel wells that harken back to a much older time. If you just focus on the wheel wells, the humps over the front and the back, that looks like a much, much older car. But then the straight back looks like a much newer car, and it just has this beautiful blending. It's so nice. I would love to put that at 1, but I'm going to have to put it at 3.
All right. Last one. So your number 4.
A DB5.
Yep. Aston Martin DB5, 1965. Most of these cars, 1965.
Is the Boattail 65?
Boattail 65. All these cars are within 6 years of each other.
That's an okay number 4. It definitely set the standard. This one's also really cool because of the heritage. The design and proportions are like exactly what you would think if you took a fairly boring looking 60s sedan and just made it a 2-door with a longer hood. Yeah, but I like the way it looks. It's good.
It is good.
So it's fine.
Bam, ba-da-dum, bam, 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 ba-da-dum, bam, 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 bam.
All right, Logan. Rank these 5 cars without knowing what comes next. Category is cars that start with the letter D.
Do you just like come up with the most like random...
I know, he's like, Logan doesn't know the alphabet, so we're going to sneak this in here.
This will get him. It's funny you picked a Dodge Dart Demon because I also have a Dodge Dart Demon.
Those are really cool. What else could there be? DeLorean, De Tomaso Dantera. I don't know. I think this is cool. I'd say 3 just to be safe.
Okay, 3.
Rolls Royce.
Dawn.
5. I don't care about these at all.
Yeah, I know you put that at 5.
Yeah. Diablo. This is cool. It's the same power plant as the Countach, is it not?
But it doesn't have Weber carburetors. I think this is electronically fuel injected.
By this point, this is a 99. It's definitely fuel injected.
Yeah. So it didn't have the habit of catching itself on fire like the Countach did.
Yeah, number 1. It's cool.
Number
It's
1.
got Lambo doors. Yep. What is this? A DB something?
It's a 2020 Aston Martin DBS.
DBS. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care about these. I'd say number 4.
Okay, so you have
Oh yeah, Del Sol number 2, perfect.
2 is a Honda Del Sol.
Let's go, perfect. Wouldn't have done it better.
Really? That's how you do it?
No, if the question is which one I would want to own, it would be the Del Sol. I'd have the most fun.
That's true.
I couldn't
own
have
the
fun
Del Sol
at
over any of those
Diablo.
cars.
What's the most fun you can have in a Diablo? Make a little sign to put in front of it at Cars and Coffee. Like this, I can actually whip around, leave it out in the rain. Doesn't matter.
It's exactly my reasoning on having a Miata.
Shut up about the Miata. No one cares about the Miata. Shut up about the sun.
But yeah, you're completely right. And this thing is so tiny. It actually looks like isn't the Del Sol smaller than the Miata?
I don't know. They're pretty small. All right, next. Blind ranking. This is for, I guess, both of you guys.
Nice muscle. Okay.
Malaise Muscle. All right, first one.
All right, Jordan, go ahead. 1 to 5.
C4.
Yeah. C3.
C3. Sorry. Yeah, the C4 was even worse. No, I'm not too taken with these. I used to really like the way they look, but now I'm kind of over it. 4.
4.
IROC Z. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
He drives an IROC.
I'm gonna call that 3.
Next.
Oh my gosh, this
Mustang 2 King Cobra.
That's a 5.
5. Okay. All right.
Oh, the
Grand
Buick
National.
Regal, Grand National, but
Grand
the Grand
National.
National was the trim of the Regal. Yeah, that's really cool. I love sleeper looking cars.
This might be an GNX, actually. I don't know.
With the hood, it could be. I don't know if that's stock, but isn't that a turbo V6?
It is a turbocharged V6. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that as 1. That's really cool.
It's cool. Last one. AMC Matador.
I guess it has to be 2, but I didn't know that car existed before right now. I'm not a huge fan of the way those headlights look. Like they look like sunken, like a skull.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a 2. I probably would have put that as a 4.
All right, there you go.
Quiz time. This is for either of you. What are, as of 2023, the 5 most reliable car brands?
In what? Services per 100,000 miles and
This is a metric done by Consumer Reports. They surveyed about 30,000 of their users, their subscribers.
Number 1 and number 2 are Lexus and Toyota, guaranteed.
yeah,
Okay.
Lexus, Toyota, Honda is going to be up there.
Lexus number 1, Toyota's number 2, Honda's number 5.
Okay, and then Dodge. No.
Dodge is like in the
60s.
30s. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one's going to be no, because Subaru was. I remember Subaru was further down the list. I don't think Subaru was on there.
Subaru's number 6.
Not Hyundai or Kia. Those have like a lot of... I was thinking Tesla too, but most people on the internet hate Elon Musk, and so even if they were reliable, they probably wouldn't put it on there.
There's no American vehicle in the top 10.
Yeah. Chrysler is number 87.
Chrysler was dead last in Consumer Reports' list, and JD Power did a very similar ranking, but slightly different criteria in a broader evaluation, and Chrysler was also dead last on their list.
Oh my gosh.
Just ask yourselves last weekend what you were doing with your transmission.
Shut up.
I don't know. I think it could be Mercedes-Benz.
There's
No.
absolutely no way.
You guessed Lexus, Toyota, Honda.
I'm going to say Hyundai.
Hyundai's like 11, I think.
There's no way it's Nissan.
But you did Toyota and its luxury brand.
Oh,
Honda,
Oh, yeah,
Acura.
Acura.
Acura's number 4. Number 3, you are never going to get.
it's not American. It's sold in the American market though.
No, it's got to be Chinese.
No, it is not American. It is sold in the American market.
Um,
To say it's being sold is generous because apparently they're not selling.
Oh, Mini Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah. Mini's number 3. Does that not seem like out of left field?
Well, if you think about how many services they have in a certain amount of time, they actually have to have cars on the road to have services.
They had 20 criteria, like 20 problem areas. that they looked at.
BMW is on there. That's a shock.
Yeah. Yeah, they were assigned a reliability score from 1 to 100.
Because Mini is a BMW.
Yeah. But BMW's on there.
Yeah, that's shocking.
That's as of 2023.
I believe Porsche. I don't believe BMW.
Yeah, that's surprising. Is this yours?
Yes, established on November 11th, 1926, and stretching 2,448 miles across the United States. What famous highway is also known as the Will Rogers Memorial Highway?
Highway 40.
So I had Route 66.
That would be Route 66. Takes you through Joplin, Missouri. That's a
And
place you
Flagstaff.
never. Oh yeah, it does. You never want to go to Joplin, Missouri.
Don't want to
It's-
ask why.
The short part of it is that they used to mine lead there, and they would dump. The government ended up having to buy the entire town because it was so contaminated with lead. It was cheaper to buy the whole town and kick everybody out and not let anybody in anymore, rather than clean up the lead. So it's just a quarantine zone of lead. You can drive by it, you can drive through it, but you can't purchase any land there. There are like 4 people that still live there. I guess they just really love their lead poisoning.
Yeah, Route 66.
What was the first American-produced Japanese car? Japanese car built here.
I asked this question a couple months ago.
No, you asked which brand produced the first.
The Accord? No, is it Accord?
The Honda Accord.
Is it on the Accord? Okay, yeah. I thought I asked this question.
You did.
1981 Honda Accord. Look at that
That's cool.
stallion. It actually isn't that bad looking if you look at the head. I like the way the hood forms over the headlights.
A member in the mission I was on in my last area who would drive us around in his car, and it looked exactly like that. It was a Honda Accord. It was probably that same generation. It was totally clapped out. The suspension had been totally blown for 30 years probably. It was like just barely hanging on. And I was like, how many miles does this car have? And he said the odometer broke at 312,000. And he's like, and that was years ago.
Jeez. What was your question? Most reliable brands?
Yeah.
We all know what this looks like. We've seen this. The Woody. What brand made the famous 1940 Supermodel 59 Woody Estate Wagon?
I have my guess. What do you think, Logan?
I'm looking at the hood ornament. Something tells me, wasn't it like Buick or something that had that like bullet train looking hood ornament? I guess Buick.
Maybe I was thinking like Chevy. Like that seems very Chevy styling.
Buick. Buick is exactly
Oh,
Yes. Nice.
yes. Hold on. What is that old Buick hood ornament?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a wind turbine thing.
U.S. Route 6 in Colorado is also known as what highway?
It's got to be something to do with mining. Because if it's a 2-digit like Route 16 or something, then it connects back to the main. Something like 6. A single-digit one is a terminal one, I think. So it just goes off and stops wherever it gets to, which tells me it's probably going to like a mining town.
It might be called this all across the United States, but I heard of it in Colorado.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It is known as the Grand Army of the Republic Highway.
Really?
It's called that honoring the American Civil War Veterans Association.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes from Vermont to California.
Wow.
That's even longer than Route 66.
Oh, yeah, by a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Grand Army of the Republic Highway. Isn't that interesting?
That is really interesting.
Oh, sorry. It goes all the way to Massachusetts.
Something that Europeans definitely don't understand is that you could drive for half a day and not see another soul in certain parts of America.
I wonder what that would look like in Europe. What's 2,800 miles across Europe?
That's France to Turkey, right? No, it's longer than that.
Well, I'm just looking at a map of the U.S. overlaid on Europe. It looks like you would be well east of Moscow, like way east of Moscow, and you'd go all the way to Portugal. That's the equivalent length of this road.
My gosh, that's like Paris. That's Paris to past Baghdad.
Yeah, so you'd be in Russia, but you'd be well east of Iraq. You'd be into
Oh my
Iraq.
gosh. Yeah, that's a
And
long
you'd
road.
go all the way to Portugal. Yeah. That's wild.
Well, thanks for joining, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
We'll see ya.